Hey everyone. Let's chat about 10 things I want to make sure I own when I purchase my first camper. I have 3 necessities when I buy my camper that I want to make sure I have, and then a few other crucials. The 3 necessities: battery, propane fill, and an adapter. Campers don't come with batteries unless it's a specific like AGM or lithium battery, which aren't cheap. So a standard deep cycle dry cell marine battery, I want to make sure I get one of those for my camper. Most of them are going to be a 24 or 27 series battery. Just double check. Again, make sure it's a deep cycle RV marine battery. So next, propane fill. They come with propane tanks. Just make sure it's filled. That way when you leave, you can actually use everything that you have on your camper. And the last thing for the 3 necessities would be a 15 to 30 amp power plug or power adapter. This right here, refer to it as a dog bone. So what it's doing is plugging from the end of your camper plug, which is a 30 amp plug, into your standard household plug, which is a 15 amp. So when you get home, you can plug your camper in. Most first timers don't know what a 30 amp plug is. So this gives them the opportunity to be able to plug in when they get home and charge up the battery. When you buy it, initially, usually it's a little bit cheaper than buying it at a campground. So 30 amp to 15 amp plug is what you need. All right, so beyond the 3 necessities, I always tell people, what kind of camper are you buying? Does it have a toilet? Does it have water? Those are another couple of things. Toilet, you want to make sure that you buy sewer hose. Don't go cheap. If you go cheap, that's when you have cheap plastics, cheap glues, and it'll break on you a lot faster. Then you're dealing with a crappy situation. So I highly recommend spending a little bit more money, getting one of these Rhino Flex. They have like a clear elbow on them so you can see when you're not dealing with nasty water anymore. So next, if you have water. Yeah, you can go to Walmart and get a standard green water hose, but it's got a nasty liner in it, and I don't know, I grew up in the 80s, so I drank out of plenty of those, but this right here is only about $5 more, and they are all BPA friendly. So they've got a good drinking water liner in it, so you're not getting that nasty toxic water. Next on the list, levels. I don't care if you bring a level like this or if you stick one on the side, the levels are good to have. Things like air conditioners, doors, refrigerators. Sometimes if you're not angled or level enough, they won't work. You can't get them open, things to that extent. Plus comfort. It's nice to know when I'm level. Another need is the water pressure regulator. Say I've got a small camper and I pull into a bigger camp spot, a 50 amp spot where I'm used to a big camper motorhome. I need to make sure that I'm downsizing the amount of pressure that I have going through my water. So I want to get the water pressure regulator to minimize that amount of pressure going into my camper so I'm not blowing lines. So water pressure regulator. Next, wheel chocks. Pieces of wood work too, but I highly recommend the wheel chocks because for $5 or $6 a piece, they've got the angled wheel. I love how it goes with the shape and the contour. Plus wood's expensive right now, so these are actually pretty cheap. I don't need 4 of them because obviously if you're going down a hill, you go in the front. But when I'm sitting on flat ground or at the campground, I go diagonal, so it still stabilizes the unit. Next on the list, drill adapter and a drill. I like a good drill and a drill adapter or a good socket set for all of my main common pieces. Just saves me a lot of time. I'm far from lazy, but work smart, not hard. So those are the 10 needs. Just to go over them again, we've got the 3 necessities, which is battery, getting your battery, filling your propane, and getting the 15 to 30 adapter, plugging in from the 30 amp plug into your cord into your 15 amp reciprocal at your house. Beyond that, we've got our levels, our water pressure regulator, our drill and drill adapters, our wheel chocks, our hoses, and last but not least is our security. So everybody asks, you know, how do you keep your camper secure? How do you keep it from getting stolen? Cameras, you know, the more you do, the better. But this right here is just cheap tongue lock. You know, you throw this on the coupler as you're coupling down the ball onto the lock, and this just keeps it so hopefully security. Say the thief gets this off, I always put one of these on, which is a wheel lock. Again, for less than $100, you use both of them. Hopefully once the idiot thief gets the one off, they realize they have another one, and they won't want to deal with that. So those are the 10 necessities I think are perfect for a first-time buyer. If you have any more that I missed, let me know. Subscribe, check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.